paper. Like there are two different types of papers in watercolor paper, like cold pressed and hot pressed. So basically we use cold pressed paper because it gives a very smoother texture to us. Okay, a very smooth surface. And hot pressed paper usually gives a very rough texture to you, like rough surface. So it depends on your painting and on you, like which type of painting you want to do. So I usually prefer cold pressed paper, and today also I'm using Canson cold pressed paper. Okay, so you can go with any paper whichever you have right now, like your drawing paper or 200 GSM paper or 300. But we see the thickness of our paper when we do watercolor painting and gouache paintings. So if you don't have 300 GSM for the, like for today's painting, you can go with 200 also. Okay, so it's fine. And now I'll tell you about colors. So okay, so as you can see here, I can show you this tube. This is Brewster brand. I'm using my gouache colors from this brand, and as you can see, it is written gouache color. Okay, so you can get these type of colors from Amazon. Like they have set of 12 instead of 20, 24 colors, and in 24 colors you'll get all the colors, and it is really very amazing. Like you can use them for 6 months, for 9 months, and they are not expensive. Like for 700 to 800 you'll get 200 colors. So I think they are very affordable. So you can go with this brand, and there are so many other brands also, but they are little expensive. So I usually suggest that if you are a beginner in gouache colors, so you can go with this brand. Okay. Now let's talk about brushes. Okay, so as I can show you, there are two different types of brushes, and any type of brushes, like for any other medium also. So one is flat brush and one is round brush. So what is the main difference is it depends on your painting, which type of painting you're doing. Like if you're doing any miniature painting, then you need miniature brushes, like 0 number brush, 1 number brush, 2 number brush. And if you're doing any bigger painting, so at that time you need 12 number, 10 number, 8 number brush. So okay, so it depends on your preference, on your painting, which type of painting you're doing. So mostly we need like all different types of brushes, because we never know now what type of painting we are doing. So you can go with Brewster brand. Like I usually suggest this brand because this brand is really very amazing with all the materials. So these brushes are also very good, and you can use your watercolor brushes for gouache colors also. Why? Because gouache is also a water-based medium, but it's like gouache is a little opaque in nature. Okay, so as you can see this painting, which we are going to do in today's class, this is just a simple scenery painting. This is with gouache colors. Okay, and I'll just show you one more painting with watercolors. Okay, so this is watercolor painting, this one, and this one is gouache painting. So you can see the difference that this will give you some transparent look, right? A very smoother texture, but this will give you a little matte finishing, and very opaque and matte finishing. So these are gouache colors, they are watercolors. So it always depends on your painting, like what type of painting you're doing. But gouache color is just like you can create anything. Like if you want to create any realistic thing, then you can go with gouache colors. They will definitely give you that thing. Okay, so this is about brushes. And if you have masking tape, you can just tape down your paper, or this is washi tape which I am using. This is washi tape. You can also use these, but these are like little expensive. So I usually don't suggest my students to use this. But if you have masking tape, I'll just show you one. So these sort of masking tape for paintings for artistic purpose, और ये छोटे sizes में भी आती है, तो it's fine. Like आप stationery से भी ले सकते हो, और आप अपने local like Amazon से भी ले सकते हो. Okay, so this is about materials. If you guys have any doubts, you can just ask me in next 1 minute. Then we'll start our painting. Yes, Deepthi. Itsy bitsy store पे भी available है. Absolutely, like it's depends ना आप online कहाँ से ले रहे हो, वहाँ पे मिल जाएगा आपको. So for today's painting, we need these two brushes, one flat brush, like bigger flat brush. You can go with, I am using number 6. You can go with 8 or 10. Okay. I usually prefer कि आप 10, 8 से 8 use करना if you have, or if you're using one round brush, number 3. And yes, colors. So as you can see, we are doing this painting today. So we need one blue color. So I'm using cerulean blue. If you guys have this color, because this is in gouache color, if you have this, or you can use any similar color related to this, any bright sky color, cerulean blue and white color. Okay, white. And for this our field, we need yellow color, lemon yellow. You can go with lemon yellow and sap green. Okay, so we needed sap green color, and for flowers you can go with any color. Like I'll prefer ki crimson or any bright red color. You can go with that, or you can go with orange also. Orange will also look very good. That bright orange. So we need only these colors. So I'm just making one line here to just divide our surface, like field and sky. And we don't have to make a very dark line. It's going to be very lighter. Okay, let's start our painting. So I'm taking cerulean blue on my palette. So I have my palette. If you don't have any palette, you can use your, like you can use plate or anything. It's fine. You can easily remove these colors from your plate because they are not acrylic colors. They are water based, so it's fine. We need blue color. So the main difference between watercolors and gouache is that watercolors are transparent in nature and we need a lot of water in watercolors. But gouache color is also a water-based medium, but we usually need this color to be opaque. So we add a very little amount of water when we are doing painting. And we are not going to add any water on our surface. We directly add water on our color and we'll create a very creamy texture of our color. And then we apply it directly on the paper. This is the only difference between watercolors. And you can use gouache colors as watercolor also. Like it is 2 in 1. Gouache colors are like 2 in 1. So first we need our flat brush and a clean jar of water. I'll just take water, just grab my cerulean blue. If you want to add, you can add cobalt blue, a very little amount of cobalt blue in your this cerulean blue to create a different little sort of texture on your surface. So in this, what we'll do, we'll create a gradient shade of first we'll like cover our sky part. Okay. So we'll create a gradient shade like darker to lighter. So for that, first we'll go with raw color like cobalt or cerulean blue, and then we'll add a very little amount of white in our blue color, and then it will create a lighter version. Okay. So we'll do it step by step. So first we'll apply color. So I'm taking cerulean blue and cobalt blue and I'll merge them together. Just make sure it won't, like your gouache colors won't be like too watery because then it will automatically create watercolor painting. So we don't want that. We want them to be a little opaque. Okay, so now in one direction, we'll apply color on our surface. We won't change the directions because otherwise it will create those strokes on the surface and we don't want that. As you can see, now I have applied a very good amount of blue color. Now what I'll do, I'll just add a very little amount of white in my black, like in my blue color, to create a little lighter version of it. So that will make that gradient shade. So now I'll merge white or that lighter blue with darker blue. We have to merge the colors very nicely. Why? Because if we won't do that, then we'll see the patches, and we don't want that in gouache painting because they are little dry in nature. So वो अलग से दिखेगा. That's why. Okay, so can you see that gradient shade, darker to lighter on my surface? And if you think that your this area is little lighter, so you can add more blue to make it darker. Okay, because at the top of it we want it darker. No, Deepthi. Gouache is totally different. They are not similar to acrylic paint. Acrylic paint usually don't need water, and gouache के लिए water ही बहुत main ingredient है. So it they are not similar. They are totally different from each other. Okay, yeah. So first we are done with this layer. Now we'll add a little amount of clouds in our sky. Okay. So for first layer, what we'll do, we'll create a very light, like with light white color. We'll add clouds in the sky in the shape of cloud. So I'll take white color first. Gouache is a really like when you'll work with it, you'll love this medium because this is really very amazing. Like it will create a very realistic look paintings. And yeah, if you are using gouache colors right now, maybe then you'll definitely understand it. Okay, so for clouds, we need one round brush. So I'm using my 3 number round brush. If you're not comfortable with bigger one, you can use any smaller one also. But just try to avoid कि आप जो 2 नंबर से छोटे brushes हैं, don't use them. Otherwise, you won't make it properly. That's why try to use 3 or 4 number brush. Okay. So now first, just imagine the clouds, like how they look. Okay. So right now I'm making my color little lighter. So I'm adding water in it. My white color is lighter. Then we'll add one more layer to create that 3D effect. So you just have to roll it down like your brush. So I think it won't be happen with that flat brush because uh, mostly we use flat brush for any surface painting when we are adding any color on the surface. So we usually use like flat brushes for that. But if we are adding any elements like this, so we usually go with flat round brush. So cover some of your like area of your sky. So this is just a lighter version of white first. That's why I'm not adding a too much dark white color because we'll add one more layer at the top of it. Not right now. First we'll cover first layer. Okay, so I just wanted to do this with my first layer, and now I'll add the second layer. Okay, so for the second layer, I'm taking white color. Now what we'll do, we'll add a very less amount of water in our white color, because now we want our white color to be opaque. And it's very nice to do gouache paintings very quickly. Why? Because they dries very quickly as acrylic colors. Like they both are very different medium, but this property is very same, that they dries very quickly. And it is like watercolors are little opposite to it. They takes time because there is like a lot of water on the surface. Okay, so now what I'll do at the top of it here, I'm just going to add a good amount of white color, like opaque white color. Yeah. Okay, so somewhere if you want it more darker, like white, you can add that opaque direct gouache color. Okay, so now we'll go with this part with green area. So for this part, we need yellow and sap green color. So first we'll apply yellow color at this portion here, and then green color. Okay, so I'll just tell you how to apply that. We need green and yellow and sap green in our palette. Lemon yellow is a very brighter color. That's why we usually apply this color in any green painting or anything when we are doing it, because it gives a very summery look and very brighter look. We are using our same brush, that round brush, because we don't need any different brushes for any of our like one painting. We can use only 2-3 brushes and create our whole one painting. But you have to purchase like all different types of brushes according to your painting, because it depends now which type of painting you're doing. So you can go with Brewster brand, or Dome's brand is also very good for uh, beginners. And Camlin is also very good. Okay, so first we need yellow color. Okay, so at this point here, from both the directions, like it depends on you how you're adding your yellow color. We'll apply it like here and there also. In between, we'll add a green color. Okay, so I'm just creating one 3D look. Okay, so only this much yellow color I'm going to apply in my surface. And now I'll take sap green color. You don't have to clean your brush for, because they are basically from same family. So maybe it will create a little different color in green, but they are very similar. Okay, so now I'm applying my sap green. So in between this yellow, I'm definitely going to apply. And now just try to create your surface smoother when you have applied both the colors. Just clean your brush and then you can add both the colors. We need a clean brush now. Okay, and if you think that your yellow is not visible, so you can apply a little more yellow. Okay, this is how it will looks. And if you want to add a little darker green, like if you think that you want it more challenging or more realistic, then you can add raw sap green color. Or you think more darker, then you can go with olive green also. But I don't think so we need olive color in this painting. So we can go with only sap green also. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done with this, but I think that I need a little darker green because it looks very similar, all the colors. So somewhere I just want a little more darker green color. Somewhere just in between, I'm adding sap green color. Yes, I think it's done. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you, do you guys like, do you have gouache colors in today's painting? Can you just give me a thumbs up in the chat box? Just say मेरे को समझ में आए, like is everyone is using gouache colors? Okay, Sakshi. Okay, Bhavna, no problem. Okay, so now it's time to add flowers. So first what we'll do, with sap green color, we'll create some lines here so that we'll add flowers. For flowers, we have to add lines. Okay, so you can go with your any round brush, or if you are not comfortable with 3 number, you can go with 1 or 2 also, because this is a very miniature thing, right? So we have to understand where we need our smaller brushes. So I'm going with one of my miniature brush, something like this. This is also from Rostro brand. This is round 0 number brush. Okay, so for these lines, we need sap green only because it is a really very darker color. So I don't think so we need olive color for this. We can go with sap green color and just take this color and create some lines here and there. And then we'll add few flowers at the top of it. Okay, so first I'll cover this area here. Randomly, like you can create lines anywhere. It's not compulsory to create what I'm doing. The same. Just give me 1 second now. Yeah, so okay, now I'll add flowers. So I'm using my same smaller brush, that miniature brush for flowers also, because we need to add smaller flowers. So I don't think so we need any bigger brush for this. Just try to have that good, this tip of your brush is going to be good. So when you have a very good tip of brush, then you can add flowers very nicely. So if you want to add crimson color flowers, you can use them. If you want to add orange color, so I'm just changing my color right this time. I'm taking orange color. They're also very brighter in nature. So that's why. So some small dots. Yes, actually, you can use both the colors. That's why I'm saying it's up to you how you're creating your painting. It's absolutely fine. Both are bright colors, right? So maybe it will look more beautiful if you'll add both the colors. Just try to create some dots a little bigger, some are smaller, so that it won't look same, and they will give you a very realistic look if you'll create different sizes of flowers. You can add a very good opaque gouache color this time, because when you'll use opaque color, then your flowers will look more solid in color. If you'll add a lot of water, then they will like they won't be that bolder in nature, and we want our flower to be highlighted. Okay, so you can add as much flowers, like it's up to you, but we have to focus on our uh, background also, right? So we can't add too much flour. That's why I'm just going to add few more and then I'll stop. We don't have to cover our whole surface with flour, because there is that green and yellow field also. We have to focus on that also. We have to see the proportion of everything, how many things we're adding, how much. This is just a very simple basic workshop. There are so many things in watercolor, like in this gouache color. And when you learn it, you wanted to learn more. So, yes, I think I'm done with flowers, because I don't want to add too much. These are enough. And if you have this mid yellow color or any sort of mustard color, if you have, I'll just show you the color also. Something like this. If you have this, you can add this color also in between, like few flowers with this color. Orange and this color will create a very good combination, or red also. This color will go with red also. We're not going to add too much, but few. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so if anyone is done with the painting, they can show us. Now I'll just remove my masking tape or washi tape, you can say. So whenever we use masking tape or anything, then we usually have this sort of good and a very clean painting. That's why we use masking tapes. Yeah, so we are done with our painting. I think you guys are doing, so it's fine. You can do